one going today. So there's something new. Anyway, I just thought I'd do a quick live stream and yeah, run some trains. Waiting for him again. Looks like we've already got a few people in here. Hello from Georgia. Welcome. The GO train's just about to zip through here. The layout is looking good. Thank you. Hello from Home Depot. Still at work. Wow. Did you watch Daytona 500? I can't say I have. Happy President's Day. I wasn't aware it was President's Day. How are you, Harrison? Pretty bad? Oh, pretty bad. Pretty good. How are you? Pretty bad. Can you show us the yard? I mean, it's a bit of a mess right now, but yeah. Hey, SMT, if we wanted to email you, how could we? Are we able to put your email in the chat? Yeah, it's scrumptiousmodeltrains@gmail.com. If you go to my About section, there should be a button you click for contact, and in there my email is listed, so shouldn't be too hard to find. President's Day is tomorrow. Question, how do you clean your tracks? I use a combination. Sometimes I just use some rubbing alcohol and Q-tips. Nothing too fancy. I also use those track brights. I have one around here. Whenever I find it, I use it, but tends to be lost most of the time. Both considered by a lot of people not to be the best track cleaning methods, and you know, there is evidence to back that up, but it's just how I've been doing it for the last 15 years, so you know, if it works, it works. Rubbing alcohol is amazing for cleaning track. Yeah, the main problem with rubbing alcohol is that, you know, it does have some water content. Now, depending on how much alcohol is in it, it's usually not too high, which isn't a big problem. But the rubbing alcohol will remove carbon deposits and oils and things like that. It doesn't fix oxidization, so that's why you need to use something else to remove that layer of oxidization, because once that builds up, it will become a big problem. Go Veer, go home. Welcome. Hey SMT, your other live stream was active. Let me know when you were live on this one. That's weird. That shouldn't have happened. Yeah, it was set to unlisted, and then it didn't go up for some reason. So I don't know what was going on there. I hope it's not still going. Buy pre-soaked squares of alcohol. It's perfect amount. Yeah, just as long as it's over 90, it should be pretty good. Been enjoying your content and video. You had a lot of camera mounted on. Was really cool. Harrison, do you know how to fix the front motor of a Dash 9 by Athearn Blue Box? Front motor. Well, some Athearns do have dual motors, but usually it's just one, unless you're talking about the gearbox. It can be any number of problems. If you want to send me an email about it, though, I'd be happy to give you any advice you need. Do you like steam trains? Of course. Steam's great. Not that I dislike diesels. You can see there's plenty of those on the layout, but I don't know. Steam engines are definitely the more mesmerizing of the bunch. I find, too, people who are not as much into trains seem to be more into steam engines. I think just because you see them in movies and stuff so often. Got any new locomotives? I picked up a Rock Island Doodlebug for $30. The seller didn't know how to fix it. Well, that was lucky. Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever shown these locomotives, but I did acquire some because my buddy found a whole bunch at a train store. So I got a few projects there, so we'll see how those go. I might end up giving one away in one capacity or another, but we'll see. I don't know if any of them run or not. Run the Go train backwards, it will look prototypical. Yeah, I wonder if the steam engine and everything else will derail, though. We'll wait a little longer. Do you think I should get a Broadway Limited 844 or Santa Fe B unit? I mean, it really, it's, you know, it's down to your personal preference. I don't know what company the Santa Fe is by, but Broadway Limited, I don't know. Some people seem to love them, some people seem to hate them. So I don't own a lot of their stuff myself, so I can't speak too much about the quality, but their reviews from people I've talked to are a little bit mixed. Hey Harrison, any advice on how to make Tyco Power Torques, preferably the steam tender drivens, run smoother or better? Just basic maintenance, you know. Open it up, clean out the motor, make sure you clean the gaps, oil everything, even put a bit of grease in there just so that everything, you know, there's no chafing. Unfortunately, some of these drives are in just, you know, such poor condition, they're not going to work that great, but just clean everything that can be cleaned, and you got a good shot at least making it a decent runner. Oh my goodness, we just got a very large super chat. Let's see if I can find that. SE, hey SMT, big supporter here. Can you run some nice Airstream or steam engines? I don't know what Airstream, I don't know if that would be like an engine that's powered off an air tank. But yeah, we'll put on a nice steam engine of some sort. I wonder what would be good. Chuff. We haven't run the 210-2 in a while, so why don't we run that? Here it is. So I'll have to stop everything for a hot minute here, just get the Go train off the main line, but it shouldn't take long. SMT, do you have the chassis system special? I don't think I do. I meant the steamlined i9CO. i9CO. I don't know which one that is. I'm really sorry. Can you run some Boston Main or Main Central F units, please? I got an A Athearn ready to roll set and a Boston and Main B unit. Nice. All right, so here's a steam engine. I'll have to see if everything else remains on the track running backwards. Go Veer, go home. Is there a road name which you don't have? Gee, I don't know. There's got to be one. Montreal commuter line. Streamline. Okay, a streamlined engine. All right. Yeah, see, this is what I kind of thought might happen if I ran things backwards. That's okay. But yeah, we can get a streamlined engine out. How about this one? Have you ever played an instrument? I used to play piano a long time ago, but I don't know. I kind of fell by the wayside. Alright, SE, so here's a streamlined locomotive and a more conventional steam locomotive. A long time ago, like you're that old. Well, a decade ago. I mean, yeah, it's not 50 years, but I'd consider it a decent amount of time. Sorry for the typos. Oh, no worries. Can you run an Athearn Blue Box drive? Absolutely. As a matter of fact, we actually already have one running because this is a Blue Box, but we'll get another one on. SMT, have you continued any progress on the vintage Verney Yellowstone? I haven't. However, somebody sent in a River Rossi steam locomotive, and it's in really poor condition cosmetically, so I'm not really sure if it's worth restoring, but there is a good chance the drive is still good. If that's the case, I might end up swiping it and putting it into that locomotive, so I'm still trying to figure it out, you know. It's a very complicated project, which is going to take a lot of time, but I'm still determined to make it happen. Jack, welcome. The layout has gotten bigger. Very nice, yeah. Even got a new freight yard. Now, I'll put the Athearn engine somewhere around here. Do you have Railroads Online? Can't say I do. Whoop. Favorite genre of music? Rock. Particularly rock from the 80s. I mean, the 60s had some decent rock, 70s had some decent rock, but nothing tops the 80s in my books. No one can change my mind on that. I totally respect it if people have a different decade for rock, but even the 90s had a few good ones, but I don't know. Doesn't stack up in my books. Can you run the cab forward? Yeah, I don't see why not. Let these go around a little longer, but yeah, we'll get that one going. How many VIA trains do you have? I think around 7 VIA locomotives. Metallica. AC/DC, yes, absolutely. Yeah, Guns N' Roses, Rat. Bunch of good ones. I made an entire playlist on the channel. In my playlist sections, you can find it, and I think I called it like the best 80s rock songs of all time. There are a few 70s ones in there and one from the 90s, but most of them are 80s. Bon Jovi, oh yeah. Alright, so we've had a bit of a derailment here, so I think I'm going to take everything off and then we will run the cab forward, which was fixed fairly recently. Show the absolute oldest train in your collection, even if it does not run. I'm pretty sure it's this one right here, the Varney. This would probably be from the late 40s. There's also my grandmother's 1951 Hiawatha. As far as I know, those are the oldest ones I have. Hi from St. Hyde, Quebec. Wow, I got another Quebecer in here. Thank you for joining the live stream. Now, let's get this thing out. Do you have any Frisco locomotives in your collection? I do, but it's a dummy locomotive. I'll try to see if I could find it. This thing is so confusing. I'm trying to put it on the track because I'm used to it facing forward, but of course that makes it the wrong way, so. Hello from Kingston. Oh, that's not too far away from here. How many River Rossies in the collection? Probably about 20. All right, hopefully this thing will work. Well, seems to be off to a good start. Opinions on Amtrak. Well, I don't know. It's kind of like American Via Rail. It's not much to say about it, really. Hopefully they can improve it. Greetings from London, Ontario. Good old London. Jack, oh my god, you have one. A fairly new acquisition. Run a Boston and Maine. I did say I was going to do that earlier, so it runs great. It seems to be doing better. When I very first fixed it up, it was a little rough in the beginning, but honestly, I think just running it is probably helping it break in, so that's good. Hopefully it will remain that way. River Rossies are really strange. Can be a very fickle brand of engines. Now, Boston and Maine. This is probably the best option. Let's see, right as I say that, it just stalls for no reason. Now it's back. I don't know. Can we see a tour of the Hershey factory? Well, I don't want to spoil things too much, but Hershey has had some work done. Added a whole bunch of different detail. So the place is starting to come to life. I still need to buy a lot more cars to fill up the parking lot, and I need to paint the lines, things like that, but it's not that far away, I don't think. So we'll see how that goes. Uh-oh. This might be challenging to get back on with the power on. I don't know what really caused it to derail, though. That was weird. And the Hershey Kiss lights. Yes, that's right. Those are going to probably be a challenge to create. I don't know. There's got to be some small plastic Hershey's Kisses, you know, like, I don't know, a toy or something. And I feel like if I could find something just the right size, I could hollow them out and turn them into the light fixtures, because I'm sure the folks who live in Pennsylvania will know what I'm talking about. Hershey has these very distinctive lampposts with like a giant Hershey's Kiss on the top, and they put the exact same ones in their factory in Smith Falls, so there should be one right here and a couple right here, so I need about 3 of them. So if anybody does know of anything that would be about the right size, send me a link to it, because I would like to purchase them. Once you have the Hershey factory done and your new layout, what is next? I don't think the projects are going to start, because there's always something new coming along. But, you know, building the Hershey factory, it's been a really fun project, but it's been very time consuming. So I'm kind of looking forward to having it finished, because then I can apply attention to a bunch of other things, like building this. So that will be good. And I also have some smaller projects planned. I want to build a shopping center here, and all of this needs a lot of attention. So it's things are going to come to a halt whenever that's finished. It's done it again. I wonder why it's derailing. It wasn't doing that before. It's got to be one of these switches, but maybe if we follow it around the layout, we can try to pinpoint where exactly it's derailing. That'd be good. You run a Civil War locomotive. I don't know if I have any working ones. Like, I have this thing, but it's a little bit damaged. Okay. All seems well. Now, the question is it going to be that switch that derails this? And it doesn't derail that time. Nice. Run some Rock Island. Yeah, we can do that. Still need to run that Boston and Maine engine too. When was the layout built? It wasn't all built in one go. So this layout right here was built in 2007. This one right here, 2012. This one was started in 2018. And this one in 2019. Of course, this one's been redone countless times, as had this one as well. Hey, SMT, if I make an HO scale layout, what size should I use? I mean, I understand space is a limitation, but if you have the room, try to build it as big as possible, you know? The more room you have, the more options you have. The only advice I probably would have, though, is try to at least make it 4 feet wide, because if you make your layout 4 feet wide, it's wide enough to have 22 radius curves. If you can make it wider, great, because wider curves, in my opinion, they just make running your trains a lot more enjoyable. You can run larger locomotives, everything is a bit smoother. You have less derailments since there's less stress in the corners. So if you have the room to make your layout wide enough to have wider turns, do it. That's pretty much the only advice I have on sizing, but like I said, more space the merrier. It's not to say you can't get a lot out of a small layout. Like if you cut this out, this right here is not a very big layout, but there's enough track to run 2 trains and a lot happening, so it's good. Does the rail speeder work? The model? Nick Smith, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey SMT, if you had a moment, could you run an EMD F45P? Hello from New York. Yeah, I'll get one out. I'm not exactly an expert on the different types of locomotives, but I believe this is the kind. I'll take this out. Alright, I think we'll take the cab forward off and we will start running some other things. We'll run that first. Do you have an SW100? I don't think so. Maybe, because I think that's the type of switcher. I'm not very good with the different types of locomotives. Some people can decipher the difference between an E7 and an E8. I'm not one of them. I couldn't tell you. I still find the cab forward looks weird. I like it. It's an interesting design, and I certainly see, you know, the benefits. I can imagine as a driver, it must have been a lot safer being actually able to see what was in front of you. But, yeah, they are very bizarre-looking engines. It really does look like it was built backwards. Okay, the Lima seems to be a little bit faster than the main Central, but that's okay. Favorite movie of all time? Oh, wow. Maybe 1985's Runaway Train. I don't know if it's my favorite movie, but I saw Caddyshack last year. That one's pretty entertaining. Favorite brand? Athearn Blue Box. An E7 has rectangular slide windows, and E8 has round porthole side windows. Well, there you have it, folks. There's somebody who can actually identify the differences between those two. Have you been to any recent train shows? There hasn't been a train show in Canada for quite a while. Having said that, my buddy Nick was telling me that apparently the OVAR flea market might be coming back, which was some of the older subscribers here might remember it. It was basically they have a flea market where all these people just kind of sell off a ton of old equipment that they don't want, and they sell everything dirt cheap. And they haven't done that since the fall of 2019, so they might be bringing it back this March. So in fact, I think my buddy Nick said they are bringing it back this March. So I'm not sure if it's going to be as big as it was before, but I don't know. They keep getting canceled. Yeah, that's why I'm a little bit skeptical, because I think they were saying last November they were going to do it, and then they never did. So we'll see if the proof's in the pudding. And we'll see if they follow through or not. But I hope it comes back, because that was always a highlight. Make the train nerds. Yes, it's confirmed. However, new location. Well, Nick, I don't know if you know the location, but if you do, please put it in the chat. I'd love to know. Not gonna lie, I just bought a 260. Great Northern steam locomotive on eBay. Mark needs to do another pop-up train show. Yeah, that was great. Have you ever watched Spaceballs? Yeah, great movie from the 80s. The Hellenic Meeting and Reception Center on Prince of Wales Drive. All right, well, there you have it, folks. What the heck? SMT, I went to a train show and got some rail cars for 2 engines for $10. What a deal. Very nice. I blew up a Marx motor. I replaced the motor in my Marx F7A with a Athearn Genesis motor. Human City Junction. Hello, modern citizens. Came to check out the updates to the layout. Well, thanks for joining. Somebody in the chat tell me what flea market and where. Nick mentioned the name just a few minutes ago. I'm not 100% sure. I've never been to that particular location myself, but we'll see. Fisher Studios, I've been trying to ask a question. Sorry, I haven't seen any comments from you. I should make it clear too, because I get these comments quite often where people say, oh, you're ignoring my comments or anything like that. I will say I never intentionally ignore comments unless they're like inappropriate. But the truth is that some messages, like YouTube has a system where, you know, they kind of organize comments and what actually gets displayed, because I'm doing this on a phone which is about this big. So I really do apologize if your comments, if I don't read your comments, but it's not because I'm trying to ignore them intentionally. I just want to make that clear. What do you think of Trudeau? Oh, I stay out of politics on here. I just don't want everybody getting into some lit up argument, because, you know, everyone's got their different opinions, and, you know, I respect that, but I just want to keep things about the trains or music, stuff like that. Can you run a BNSF? Yeah, I don't see why not. Chris Danielle, the extent of your rolling stock, can we see? Extent of your rolling stock, what we see, layout, or is there a secret stash of cars we don't see? There is a secret stash, it's down there. Fisher Studios, I sent a super chat earlier asking if you have an FEFUP 844. Sorry for missing the super chat. Well, if that's the 844 steam engine that UP never retired, I don't have that particular model. Thank you so much for the super chat, though. I do appreciate it. Hey, SMT, do you think you will ever be a train driver? I'm sure it's a career which is got its perks, and I'm sure all the traveling is really quite nice, but I don't know. I really like the area, and just always being out riding the rails. I don't think it's a life that I'm personally interested in, but I'm not saying it's a bad career. It's just not what I'm looking for. All right. I think we'll get some other pieces of equipment on here. I did say I was going to run that BNSF engine, so we'll get that on. 844 is too expensive. It's probably like the big boy. It's probably a very sought after type of engine in HO scale, or any scale for that matter. Let's see if we can actually get some freight cars to haul this thing all around. I've thought about being a conductor, but everyone I know says it sucks with the hours and being away from family. That's kind of where I'm coming from, you know? It's like, again, if you want that, I'm sure it can be great, but yeah, being away from home for so long can't be easy. Do you have any blooper train fixing footage? I mean, it'd be a cool idea to make a blooper reel. Unfortunately, most of the time, just to keep storage free on my computer, the raw footage just gets deleted once the video is uploaded. So it's pretty rare I have leftover footage, unless, you know, some videos which I put a lot, many hours of effort into, I usually keep a hard copy, just because if something ever happened, I don't want to lose that footage. But with the exception of that, I don't have those, I don't know, dropping tools on the ground and things like that saved. Can you run Spaceball 1? Unfortunately, the Spaceball locomotive is not working right now. I need to replace the bands on it. Might do a live stream of doing that, but we'll see. I went to a train show recently, and half the vendors were grumpy, guessing they were not selling their quota. Oh, that's funny. I don't know why this stopped. Vintage Road and Rail, love your channel. When you have a moment, can you run the Walters Trainline CSX GP15? Sure. I don't know where it's being stored. When you say the daylight has a quartering issue, what does that mean? On a steam locomotive, you've got the driving wheels on either side. Those have to be 90 degrees apart, or else, like, it's a tough thing to explain, but this rod here has to be 90 degrees apart from this rod, and if they're not, something called binding happens, where basically the wheel won't rotate properly, and the engine won't run. So, unfortunately, in the case of the daylight, the wheels have become unquartered, which means they're either more or less than 90 degrees apart, and the engine won't run, or it will run, but it doesn't run smooth, and it stresses the motor quite a bit. If you're not careful, I might end up just burning it out. I'm seeing some Kool-Aid. All right. Hey, yo, the Kool-Aid, yeah. All right, so here is the Walters CSX locomotive. How's the layout extension coming? I mean, there haven't really been any major changes on it lately, but I can't wait to get working on it. The big challenge is going to be connecting it up. Who makes the Kool-Aid locomotive? It's Rapido. Did you know, as a Nebraskan, Kool-Aid was invented in Nebraska? I was not aware of that. Thanks for sharing. Okay, I have no idea why trains keep derailing here. Same thing, the BNSF derailed somewhere around here. Very odd. run any marks yet. Yeah, you know what? Somebody wanted a Rock Island locomotive. Then we're getting a request for Mark's engine, so why don't we do 2 birds with a stone? Run this thing. There we go. This engine's ridiculously fast. It's not even funny. Really got to give Athearn credit. You know, this engine's been running backwards and forwards on this layout for the entire live stream, with the exception of getting stuck a couple times. It hasn't really had any issues. To run the cab forward, I did in the beginning of the stream, yeah. Well, I'll be darned, it's derailed a second time on both sets of wheels. This is so strange. Okay, we're gonna keep an eye on this engine and see if we can figure out where it's derailing. It's kind of mysterious. This engine generally has been really good for staying on the track too. Make sure the switch is all aligned and everything. Alright, so still on the track. Let's see. Still good. It's this one little bush. Just gonna set this thing up for a moment. Just gonna go grab a glass of water there. What's your weirdest engine? Probably the cab forward at this point. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Scotty's left the party. Now the tiny engine zipping around has made it like 20 laps. It's not even full speed. Like, look, this is half the power. Just gonna take this thing out of the tripod here. Yeah, watch this. Take this off. It'll go even faster. Do you have any Great Northern equipment? Nothing working. However, recently I was able to pick up this RS3 from Hobbytown. It's got a really nice paint scheme. I can't wait to get this running. On YouTube, my TV showed waiting for SMTs forever before I finally realized you started streaming 20 minutes later. Yeah, something happened with, I tried to start a live stream and it was unlisted, and for some reason it uploaded it anyway, so I don't really know what's going on there, but hopefully people are all showing up to this one and aren't just waiting in the queue over there. Harrison, you need to get some articulated auto racks for your collection. I got 4 already. Could be interesting. But I really want to buy more of his intermodal cars. It'd be nice to have like a 4-car consist with all intermodals. And the big boy. I mean, sure, why not? Any models you got your eyes on? Not at the moment. Do you have a dream engine? Well, I did. I ended up buying it, though. It's right there. That used to be the Wakefield train, which ran past my grandfather's house. And I grew up, every weekend I'd drive up. Well, my dad would go up there, and they would have coffee together. And then when we heard the whistle going, we'd all run down to the tracks and go see the train. So it was a very sentimental piece, so I always wanted a model of it. And yeah, I was able to get one. I guess it was about 1.5 years ago I bought that model. And just last year I was able to get the diesel, and I actually have the entire train too, so that's the one I always wanted. I'll take that one off. Ricky M, I'm glad I didn't miss the live stream. Yeah, welcome. They're massive cars, Harrison. They're kind of hard to handle getting them out of the box, but they look nice. Probably one of those things you just leave on the layout. Do you get tired of people constantly asking you to run the big boy? Well, it's not the most original one, but it's nice seeing it out. Chatham, Ontario is apparently getting a bad snowstorm tonight. I really hope this doesn't come up this way. Hearing a funny noise. That is weird. Glad to be in an SMT live stream. Again, boy, it's been a while. Speaking of big boys, do both of them run? Yes, they do. I don't know if they're speed matched, however. Yeah, we can get them both going. Why not? What I kind of want to do is I want to get both of them actually hooked up for a video and see what the pulling capacity of one big boy is, and then see combined what the pulling capacity is. That is weird. Okay, I can't be imagining things here. I'm just going to take this engine off. It sounds like there's like a crackling noise coming from under this table. Really, really weird. Anyway, let's get the other big boy out here. Is it something electrical? Well, I noticed the sound got louder when I turned up the power on the controller, so I'm not sure if something is shorting or what the case is, but I've never had that happen before, so I don't really know what the case is. Your transmitter could be on fire. I don't smell any smoke. The controller's getting tired and putting out vibes. Yeah, who knows? All right. That is so strange. I think it's the speakers. I just don't really understand why they're doing that with the big boy engines on the track, but not the other ones. Also, something seems to be shorted. That's a short circuit. Yeah, but if it was a full-on short circuit, the current draw would spike, so I don't think that's what's going on there. Is there something sketchy left on the tracks? Well, if it was a short or something, the current draw would be high, so I really don't think that's the issue. Maybe some wires are touching the speaker wires, and that's what's going on there, but it's just really weird, because the speakers weren't making that sound when I took the big boy off, so yeah, I really don't know what's going on. How does she handle those curves, such a massive loco? River Rossi was very good about making sure their products could pretty much work on any layout, and I've heard from many people that these engines are actually capable of handling 18 radius curves. It's not entirely surprising, too. If you look at the wheels, like, they're pizza cutters. The flanges are massive, and, well, that actually just did derail, but I think they did it that way to try to prevent derailments, so not a bad idea. Can we see the Hershey factory, a certified classic? Absolutely. Added all sorts of different detail, as you can see. So, still not finished yet, but I find it's really starting to come to life. And we've got a super chat from the Canadian car guy. Love the content, SMT. Keep up the good work. I know it's not much, but I hope it goes towards more restorations. What's your favorite CN locomotive, and would you be able to run it? Yeah, I guess it would be that one. So we'll bring that out. Thank you so much for the super chat and kind comment. If you like factories, well, not all of them, but yeah, I don't know. I find them fascinating. Hello from Sudbury. I got some people in there. got family from Sudbury, so it's not a unfamiliar neck of the woods. Love your channel, and you're my favorite YouTuber. Thank you. How much does it cost to build? The layout? I don't know. I don't know if I tallied up the number, if I'd laugh or if I'd cry. That's very cool. Going to do a video on the Hershey factory. I hope to. I want to make something really special whenever this thing gets done, to kind of show it in detail. And I also want to create a video explaining the whole history of the factory, because there was a lot of interesting history surrounding it. So I'll have to put that together, but it's probably going to take a long time to put together. Hopefully this works. Hershey factory. Yeah, it's not a Hershey factory anymore. Still a factory of some sort. Still making chocolate. Not the same kind, though. What the heck? Oh, this thing runs horribly. Funny brownies. Yes, the special kind. SMT, do you think you'll hit 100,000 subscribers, like Thunderbolt 1000 Sirens Productions this year? Probably not 100,000. If the channel hits 50,000, I'm thrilled. You know, that would be quite the accomplishment. But I don't know. I never would have thought it would be close to 50,000. So I would say it's impossible. But yeah, I have no idea what the future of the channel is. There's never a plan to really make a YouTube channel. It kind of just happened. So, but it's been a wonderful experience. Go Veer, go home. Smith Falls, it's worth the trip. Yeah, good old Smith Falls. Somebody made a news article kind of highlighting how many, cycles of business that town's been through, because, it used to be a place that manufactured farm equipment, and then they went into RCA opened a factory there. And that's actually where the first Beatles records were produced, and then Hershey wasn't long after that. Coca-Cola was in town at some point, or in the same time frame, I believe, and yes, now they've got their herbs and spices factory, so quite the history there. SMT, love your channel and you're my favorite YouTuber. Great content. Love the restorations. Thank you. Do you have any narrow gauge stuff? Can't say I do. Merry Christmas. I don't know what that's about. What controller do you recommend? It depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for DCC, I can't really say because I'm just less familiar with DCC than I am DC. But if you want a high-end controller and you're willing to spend the money, honestly, like, this has been the best DC controller I've ever owned. It's an MRC Tech 3 9500 series, and especially if you like working on engines, it's just fantastic because you can tell so much about the condition of the motor just from that current draw gauge. And also based on how much voltage you're putting in the track. But yeah, this is the DCC controller I have. But like I said, I haven't used other brands, so I couldn't tell you whether or not this is a good one or a bad one. What was your first locomotive? It was a Canadian National diesel of some sort. It was out of the Lifelike rail charger train set. Let's see if I can find it. Should be somewhere around here. Yes, this one. It's not technically the first. It's kind of hard to tell which engine actually was my first because I got more than one on Christmas Day. I got this engine, a Via engine from Walters, as well as a Bachmann steam engine. But this was out of the train set, which was my first, so I guess it counts. Here, we'll bring this engine around. We'll try to run it. As you can probably tell too, this engine's in really rough shape and had a lot of hours put on it back in the day. Yeah, she still runs fine. How long have you been in the hobby? 15 years. Started, I got my first set on Christmas Day, 2006. Might seem like it's stuttering, but it's just because the frog here is not connected to the main line. It's really nice to see that despite, how rough this thing is, it's still running all these years later. I wouldn't consider Lifelike a high-quality brand, but considering all it's been through, I'm happy with it. Sorry if I'm asking too much, but if you have anything British, if so, can you run it? That doesn't seem like a crazy request. Yeah, I got this thing. Got any small switchers? Yeah, sure. We'll get a couple more engines out, and then I think we'll call it a night because it's almost 10:30 here. But yeah, we can run a few more pieces of equipment. Just let this make a quick lap. So there's that. I believe this is the Cheshire. Any interesting locomotives on the shopping list? Not at the moment. Man, you did a good job on the Hershey building. Thank you so much. Banana hobby, 55 years. Year-old Varney F3. The Chesapeake on fire? Heck, why not? Keep a close eye on the current draw, though. I don't want to burn out that motor. Do you have an eBay store? No, I never sold anything on eBay before. I've sold some stuff to my local hobby shop, but that's been about the extent of it. However, if they bring back the OVA or flea market, I might end up selling off some equipment there, which wouldn't be bad. I don't think I've run this thing in over a year, so I'm not really sure what to expect. This engine's a little bit infamous because I bought it. The seller said it was in great condition, and then within, I think, less than 30 seconds of running it, the motor started smoking, so that was not so great. Having said that, there we go. Yeah, I don't think this is a very good idea. I think it needs a little more work. I mean, it runs, but so a lot of power. To run something N scale. All right. We need to play around with some wires for a hot minute here. I don't know where the plug for the controller is. All right. Now, why don't we see if this will start? Okay, not so much luck with that one. There's another one I fixed at some point. There we go. Do you have a normal job? Well, I don't know. I work at a restaurant there. Cooking, assembling sandwiches and cooking up stuff. So I don't know if you consider that a normal job, but, pays bills. It's my gift. Yes, thank you so much, controller packers. You mean it funds your train addiction? Well, yeah, it does that too, but gotta put fuel in the car somehow. The N scale layout looking mighty sketchy. Yeah, I'm not going to deny that. It's a little worse for wear. I think I need to get rid of the snow and replace it with something a little bit more proper, because yeah, this whole powdered snow idea using baking, I don't know if it was baking soda or flour, but I put something on here I shouldn't have, and now it was a bad choice. So fuel in Canada and compared to the US is expensive when they use per liter. Yes, 100%. Fuel in Canada is like double the price. Like, I go to the States, you fill up the car, yeah, you're putting 20 bucks in it, but here, $50 fill up minimum. So, you know, today's prices, oh boy. So, yeah, as I said, gotta put fuel in the car somehow. Well, I think we'll run this to finish off the live stream. Welcome to gallons versus liters. Can you run the Mahano TGV? Sure. Last train of the night. Hobby House in Vania is a good store. Yeah, I always like going in there. It's good too because they acquired a huge estate, so the store's probably been the most. I haven't seen it this stocked in a long time. That's what I'll say. Favorite Canadian train company? CN. How many trains can you run at one time? There isn't really a limit. You could probably get up to about 10, but you'll run into problems really, really quickly doing that. Or if this is going to give me a problem here. Okay, good. Okay, got a bit of a derailment going on, but I think I'm just going to let the switch over there handle that. Wow, it actually re-railed itself. Fantastic. Nuts and Bolt 77, thank you so kindly for the super chat. Well, folks, it's about 10:30 now, so I think I should probably finish off the live stream here, but I'd like to thank you all so much for joining in this evening. It's been wonderful getting to chat with all of you, and I appreciate the comments, so thanks for all of that. Anyway, I think we'll call it a night there. Have a wonderful night, everyone. I'll let the TGV pull up first. All right.